Alright, so I'm going to be completely honest without bringing up any type of central bias that I have. New York Yankees fan, we are absolutely dreadful here in the AL East. The only positive is that we're only sub 500 with literally leading the entire, with literally the worst team in the AL East. They have the better record than the whole entire AL Central. And that's not really saying much, because at least 3 are over playoff bound, and the most bare minimum we have is freaking not even making a pennant from 20 years ago. Literally, we are literally a team that we used to be. We are what we are that we thought we were this off season, this entire thing. Oh, that's all we are. Just high expectations and no consistency. We are currently 50-45, and that is better than a majority of divisional teams that that already have their top 3 or bottom 3 teams leaning over 50 wins for playoff bounds. We have had 50-50 type matchups with the majority. Sub most 9 games behind over in the division when the Rays are having possibly the best season in a very long time. A renaissance of a season after actually building around their youth and actually trying to stay consistent, and the Orioles are actually trying to play baseball this year. New York, we're behind, just a game behind the freaking Boston Red Sox, that I feel like are even a worse team because of less depth around their bullpen, and we know Rafael Devers is just wasting over his prime for a sub-playoff push. But we're 50-46 with our series down by 0.3. We suck, bro. And it's nevertheless an extent of seeing from what happened when they didn't even have Shohei Ohtani over on the team, pitching over for the team in their last game against the Angels, when we lost 5-1, and we had Anthony Rizzo getting groundouts, nobody knowing how to hit properly. It's not our bullpen that's been the primordial Achilles heel for the past 3 to 4 seasons of why we haven't been perennial contenders. 'Cause guess what? People are probably going to say either the Astros or the Dodgers or hell, even the Giants, Rays. We are false contenders. The Mets are disappointment. The Yankees are false prophets. I gotta just say it, bro. I wish I was a bit more, transparent to how I felt after we just needed to evolve our pitching. But apparently, we have less, hitting than possibly that kid that still hasn't gotten laid in his 3rd year of college. Honestly, someone explain to me. I've been judged for majority of the season. Nearly our best hitters from last season are batting under 200. Rizzo's, I think, like a 187. IKF, one of the saving graces over from our team from last season, batting at least at 2.8. It's like, hey guys, last season was last season we made the playoffs. You guys want to do it this year? No. I just feel like nobody's trying. Nobody is trying, bro. And as soon as we get this out of our head that we're not the top team in baseball anymore, and we honestly need a form of consistency from a roundabout season when there's under 80 games remaining after the All-Star break, and none of us have been bound to stay above at least a 4-game winning streak since, I think, early June, late May, when we were still a top-tier team and we were at least feeding around second best with our division having the highest win percentage out of the entire Major League Baseball. And that doesn't seem to be the case. The majority of teams are beating this. Even the AL Central, even the Central divisions, are at least trying to be competent enough to at least have better hitting rotations, better offenses. Hell, even the Texas Rangers that are buying around good offenses and building around the rotation and actually trying to be something. They're 57-39. They're having their best season yet, above the World Series champions, the Houston Astros, that are only 5 games behind. They are killing it. You know how embarrassing to go back and see that entire Braves series? when we were having like Aldo, we were getting grand slams. Our pitching couldn't do stuff. Oh, but no, Herman hit that perfect pitch, that perfect game, and that was it. That's the only headline. Nobody in the media is having the Yankees conversation about us even playing as a little black sheep in the playoffs. Because we're the same team. Other than adding over Rodon and Anthony Volpe, our offense is barely the same, and pitchers are adapting over our hitting team and knowing that we're just not a good hit percentage team, we're not a good base percentage team. And majority, when we even get the lead, when we have it's like a 4-2 series run that we're having. Please, if I hear that the Yankees are something to beat when we like shut out teams like the Reds or the Rockies, I'm gonna just cut that off from my entire mindset. I am, because we're just going over a disparity right now. Because going over our last 10 games, we have lost the last 4 straight after All-Star break. We only picked up a major win against the Colorado Rockies, like I just said. Like, we're looking at Harrison Bodar. We're looking at Giancarlo Stanton, that's possibly having his worst season yet. Oswaldo Cabrera, that's only a 208 right now over his entire plate averages. Nearly our entire team at bat is hitting nearly 200. What happened to Jose Trevino? What happened to Harrison Bodar? Aaron Judge, even when he comes back from IL, the guy just keeps getting strucken out as soon as he gets the bag. And this happens with anybody that gets a max contract or at least gets a renewal to try to play premier baseball for a big market team, and then he balls out somewhere else and possibly wins a World Series. I'm not trying to call that Freddie Freeman, because we know Freddie Freeman's actually good, unlike Aaron Judge. And Giancarlo Stanton, I don't know what happened to Giancarlo Stanton. Only got 7 doubles around the season with 29 RBIs, and he's coming up possibly his worst on-base percentage of this season. And he only has a worse slugging percentage than Bodar. That doesn't even have to hit that much. And the rotations are just borderline shit. Every time I see it, even when we have guys fully healthy, we'll do something like have like put Judge over on the third start, over in the rotation, when we know most of what he does is just hit outside the park. That's literally his job. He'll push over for an RBI, and there'll be no hope. There'll be no security for a guy that could just bat it out. Do we expect that from Calhoun, Bowers, or Josh Donaldson that should have been gone until he got hurt? And he was having very decent parts of when he was actually consistent third base. When he actually had a wilding out arm, he can bat out. He could actually ball out and get over on base, react well over on the ball, and not make any mistakes. Then he gets hurt. Please explain to me how this Yankees team is better than last season. And just know we've been ass. The Yankees, I blame Aaron Boone. I blame Kevin Reese. That's just shit at actually finding some young guys to actually build outside of the rotation. And the whole Yankees mentality over picking up some Home Depot, some random associates that were fixing up our yard out of like LeMahieu, and then we'll get Rodon. And what's the whole gimmick of trying to get overpaid pitchers that are pushing over their mid-30s? I think Garrett Cole and Clark Schmidt, Domingo Germán, that was actually pitching pretty well with a pretty above average win percentage. ERA is freaking atrocious. Nestor Cortez is not having them better than last year when he was actually pitching lights out and closing up games, getting good strikeouts around the rotation like he did last year. Clay Holmes, we have crappy closers. Don't get me started, bro. I've watched at least a total above at least if you watch 60 plus games of Yankees, you know how they play. You know what they're lacking. You know what they rotate out. Like if I see Ronald Acuna come around, just hit over a grand slam, and just shoot out our team like he did last. I think that was last month or series against the Braves, or that slaughterhouse series that we had against the Dodgers. That majority of the best players there were hurt anyway. Like we're just up with our bridges right now, and it's just a delusion over the fan base, delusion over the front office, and it's obviously just laziness from the Yankees as a whole. I feel like they're gonna possibly get a sub account of at least 101 wins, and piss down their leg around October, around September, when we're in playoff contention. We'll possibly get shut out by teams that are actually trying to win, like, you know, the Twins. I actually see us losing to the Commanders. Oh, fuck Toronto. You think like anybody in the AL East is actually going to do something? Rays having one of those one-hit wonder seasons. We're going to call it the Miami Dolphins seasons. When they have good enough offense, they have some guys that can actually try to actually bat, get on base, and they get clutch enough games, but too much inexperience coming out of a hot season. If you guys want to get any expectation, I expect it to be the Braves versus the Astros again. I have so much low hope in this mediocre conference of the American League. But yeah, Yankees have been a massive disappointment this season. There's way too discrepancies. The injury list has been abundant. They're not disciplined enough. Boone doesn't know how to construct his rotations. Hitting has been the biggest Achilles heel for this Yankees team for several months now, and we have yet to feel like we have any type of contention this season. And I don't know who's not bringing this up, because we haven't looked like a hot team since May. Early May. But most of the time, we're facing either inexperience, or we were just beating out divisional teams because we knew knew them the most. Like, honestly, other than May and June, what part of the summer has actually gone well for us? We lost the last 3 freaking games against the Angels. And Sandoval had a great pitching sequence. The guy was killing it. I think he only got like 3 ground outs, like 5 strikeouts, and clocked out around the 8th inning. Lube, whoa. Oh God, we are just ass, man. And we hadn't even played Garrett Cole since the Chicago White Sox game. That we only win 1 over our last 4 against until we face the Rockies again. We are ass. The only confidence builder for any optimism around this team, if we at least win at least 2 out of our next 3 series games, when we after this last game tonight against the Angels, that we go off to face the Kansas City Rays. That's the only optimism sounding that we're getting over the entire month. When we got the Red Sox again, when we got the Marlins again, and when we get the Astros early around August, when we're supposed to make a playoff push. And we're not even getting massive competition until September, when we're facing teams that are actually trying to contend. But that's my opinion. You guys feel like the Yankees have been disappointing this season? Tell me how you feel in the comment section below. I'm just closing off this rant because I'm getting a headache.